Habari beautiful people, welcome back to another episode of Pages of My Diary with me, Mumbi Maina. Thank you so much to each and everyone who watched the previous video. I hope you loved it, I hope you interacted with it, I hope you shared it, and I hope you've subscribed. If you've not subscribed, if the button is white, that means you've not subscribed, and this is your call to subscribe. So on today's episode, which is episode 4, I want to talk about things that we can control and things that are out of control, and maybe how we can be able to navigate around all these aspects. So many of us go through a lot of stress, and we have a lot of stress because we dwell upon things that were never ours to control, and this, to some extent, it brings about issues that most of us go through, especially us as young people. We go through things like anxiety and depression and burnouts and overthinking and all these things. These are things that emanate from us trying to control things that were never ours to control. Okay, so maybe you're seated there and asking yourself, what are these things that I cannot? Let's start with the biggest side. The biggest side is what you cannot control, what is out of your control. And I remember there is a place I once saw that someone draws a circle. There's a big circle. The bigger circle includes what is out of your control, and these are things like people's opinion, maybe how fast things can happen, what people might say about an outcome or something that you've done, people's emotion, how people will react on something, or how people feel. All these are things that are outside your control, right? And these are things that most of us tend to carry around, or we tend to worry about, because we feel like, I've done this, I've talked to this kind of people, I really want to know what they think about it, because I feel like maybe some of them were sleeping. Why were they sleeping? This person said this, why did they say this about me? You can never control what someone else does, because it's just them. So, and now we come to what we can be able to control, or now the inner circle, what is in our control. And it's inner because it's within your reach. It's something that you can be able to do. So these are things like how we react to things, maybe how you react to what someone says. There are people, maybe someone says something to you and the first thing that comes to your mind is slapping them. That is what you can be able to control. You can be able to control your feelings, the feeling of anger, of wanting to slap this person. You can be able to control that. You can be able to control how you interact with people, or how you interact with people, how your emotions come by. Maybe if something happens, and sometimes you're faced with situations where something very big has happened and it tests your patience, and the first thing you want to do is maybe just run away and cry or be sad and sorrowful about it. So that is in your control. You can be able to decide what are some of the emotions that I can be able to derive or to react to these things. Maybe what you put your effort in, or who you give your effort to. Yes, that is something you can be able to control. Sometimes maybe there's someone who works up your nerves. Anytime you talk to them or anytime you interact with them, they are always working up your nerves. They want to make you angry and they are pissing you off. You can be able to decide, okay, I don't think it is necessary for me to give this person my time or my effort, or it is not necessary for me to give this thing my effort. Maybe it is something that maybe you're planning and it's not working. You can decide to either give it your effort or just don't give it your effort. So this is in your control. You can also be able to control what you put your focus on. Okay, sometimes in life, especially while you're advancing in life, you have so many things that that requires you as a being. You have maybe your family, you have work, you have your social life, you have your spiritual life. All these things require you to put effort to them or to focus on. And now at the end of it, uko peke yako, like it's just one being, and you need to all these things are asking for your time and your concern and all these things. So you are the person to decide which one can I do first and which one can wait, or which one doesn't really require so much effort and which one requires a lot of effort. You see, that is in your control. You also have control of boundaries, of your own boundaries. Okay, so if you decide this is my line, if you cross this line, I do not compromise. That is your own decision to make. You make your own boundaries, and this should not, your boundaries, the boundaries you make should not be affected by other people. Okay, you remember when I've said you do not have control of what people say about anything? Same thing applies to your boundaries. If your line is this, I do not like it when people go beyond this, and if you go beyond this, I just cut you off. I don't want to do anything with you. Or yes, that is the line that you've made. If someone feels like, okay, I feel like this line should be a little bit further, I mean, you're being too dramatic, these things happen to other people, no, that is them. This is you. This is what you can control. You can control your boundaries. And so many other times that we tend to confuse the two. Okay, so maybe you have done something, or maybe you've done an activity or an action, okay, and worry gets into you of how people will feel about it. I mean, if the damage has been done, it has already been done. Ushafanya. So reactions zao ziko liable. People can react, they're so mad, or now they're a bit nicer, or they feel like, oh, that was really nice. You see, so that you can be able to control. You cannot be able to control what they react to that action. So many other times we confuse the two, and we tend to focus mostly on that which we can't be able to control. So this is your call to avoid trying to control things that are out of your control. There are other things like maybe your past experiences, or where you've grown up, or where you were born. That is something you cannot be able to control. You cannot be able to control the family you've come from. That is over you. What you can be able to control is the family that you are going to create. See? So the moment we start cultivating in us the nature of not wanting to control each and everything, is the moment whereby we are going to reduce so many things that happen to us. Things like burnout, things like being overwhelmed, things like playing the victim. If you've not watched my video on playing the victim, please watch the previous video, which is the one. So all these things. So this is my call to you, to control things that are in your control and avoid things that are out of your control. And with this, you're going to cultivate peace of mind, and you're going to live a happy life. Yes, you're going to live, I don't want to say a careless life, but a carefree life, whereby you don't really care about things that are beyond you, okay? Because at the end of it, all those things were never yours to control at the first place. So I hope you've gotten something from today's video. I hope you're going to like and share and subscribe and comment. Tell me, what is something that you've learned to let go over time? What is something that you've learned, I can't control this, so I need to let go? Please comment down below and let me hear from you. So that is it for today's video. Until the next episode, always remember to stay true to yourself. Kwaheri.